Last week, Paul McKee was here in studio talking about his North Side redevelopment program, and off the air, we got into a conversation about woodworking. He was a bit of a woodworker in his younger days, and he told me about this young kid here in St. Louis who's making a name for himself. His name is Martin Goebel, and that Paul McKee went out to his shop and couldn't believe the beautiful furniture that was being made right here in St. Louis, and he said, McGraw, here's his phone number, call him. Well, guess what? We called him, and he's joining us here in studio. Martin Goebel of Goebel Furniture and GoebelFurniture.com. Martin, welcome, Big 550 KTRS.
Good morning.
First off, you went to high school with Andrew, is that right?
I went to a neighboring high school.
Neighboring high school. So you don't have any dirty little secrets on Andrew, do you?
I might have one or two, but none that will leave my mouth.
All right, fair enough. And the pictures are in a vault somewhere. You graduated from Ladue High School?
Ladue High School, that's correct.
What year?
I graduated in 2000.
2000. And you went on, long story short, you went on and you got some type of degrees and woodworking skills in secondary schools, right?
That's correct. I was definitely trained as a traditional European craftsman in Northern California in about 2001, 2002.
What was it? What caught your fancy? What was it about woodworking?
Well, I actually started my interest in woodworking through a high school woodworking class that I took with really wonderful gentlemen, Bill McCoy and Steve Schmidt at Ladue High School. Fantastic program, and it's really one of those industrial arts programs that is leaving education these days.
Right.
And it's really sad because there's so many wonderful parts of education that are being missed when you're only taking math and science and things like that. It's really what spawned an entire career for me.
You couldn't be more accurate, and the people who take those classes are deemed to be uncool or not the smart kids or the troublemaker kids, and it turns out that that's unfair too to all those people who take those classes.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was the Missouri woodworking state champion 3 years in a row, and it got me women like you wouldn't believe.
Really?
No, not at all, actually.
I was going to say, well, I'm doing something wrong. But you know what? When you tell people you're a woodworker, they almost sort of, they're like, really? That's interesting, because you don't hear that too often these days.
You know, it's a difficult avenue to go with regard to career because there's no set degree that you get for that. I've got a very traditional training with furniture and cabinet making, total hand skills. Then I've got an undergraduate degree in Bachelor of Fine Arts from UMSL.
Right.
And I've got a master's in furniture design from Rhode Island School of Design. So it's really a tailored education.
Right.
It's very heavily based in digital design and automated manufacturing, as well as traditional crafts. So by merging those two things, you're able to take really high quality furniture, yet create it at a price point that is attainable for the average person.
How old is Goebel Furniture? How long has that been around?
Goebel Furniture is up and running now 3 years.
3 years. And you were telling me that you have your furniture that you designed in galleries all across the country.
You know, I used to work with art galleries very heavily, and I did one-of-a-kind pieces for about 7 years. And now with Goebel & Company Furniture, it is sold through retailers in Chicago and Denver, and we'll be in Atlanta and Dallas by the end of the spring.
All right, so all of those big, cool, hip cities are finding out about Goebel Furniture.
Absolutely.
How many people in St. Louis sell your furniture?
Well, actually, nobody in St. Louis sells our furniture, but the ironic thing is there is a lot of furniture that gets sold to people in St. Louis when they go to Chicago to buy furniture, only to find our furniture not knowing where we are produced, and then we sell it to our retailer in Chicago, and then it comes directly back to St. Louis.
So you're telling me that people have bought your furniture traveling to Chicago thinking, hey, this is really cool furniture. This big city has all the other cool furniture, and it turns out it's made and created on Washington Avenue in St. Louis.
Actually on Locust, but yes.
Locust, yeah.
That is absolutely correct.
That's unbelievable. All right, that's fantastic. Now, I was at your shop earlier in the week.
You were.
Or last week, whatever it was. And Urban Chestnut is a local brewery.
They are.
Started out of somebody's idea. They've grown exponentially. Now they're moving, and they've commissioned Goebel Furniture to do all of their furniture for the new brewery.
That is correct. We met with Florian Kuplant starting about this time last year, and he didn't lead on to what the entire project was for probably about 6 months. Didn't know that there was a new brewery, didn't know that there was this scale of a brewery going into town, but it's really an unbelievable jump from where they're at now on Washington Boulevard, just east of the Fox Theater.
Right.
They're moving over to the Grove area at Manchester
right.
and Kings Highway, and they bought the old Renard Paper Company. And I believe it's somewhere around 80, 90,000 square feet, of which we are doing seating for 250 and tables to match. Foot all the way up to 16 foot long. You'll be able to seat 25 people at a 16-foot table. They're beer hall style tables. It's just going to be an absolutely fantastic interior, and they've really knocked themselves out. I haven't seen a brewery anywhere in St. Louis that looks anything close to what this is going to be like.
They've taken a brick building that didn't have any windows on it and cut giant windows out. So now you had a paper plant that had no windows, and now you have a brewery with all these beautiful windows.
Well, it's actually not just windows, but they've removed an entire wall for about, I'd say, 100 feet, so that you have open-air frontage on Manchester. It's really, it's unbelievable. We've done both interior and exterior tables. The beer garden outside is really just a unique space because it's not a standard type of sort of beer hall. It's a very industrial look, lots of stainless steel. Our tables are going to be a very dark black with a lot of steel work on them, so it's just a one-of-a-kind tailored to them.
Is this your largest commissioned project, if you will?
It's our largest commissioned project. Our company makes a product line of about 17 pieces that you can buy on our website or through our catalog. And with those pieces, we're doing production runs of approximately the same number of pieces, but this is all going to one client, and each of the pieces have been designed specifically for Urban Chestnut.
Gotcha. And these tables are made out of what type of wood?
They're made out of knotty pine, which has a misconception of being sort of a lower quality wood. You're going to pick up a little bit more of the patina, a little bit more of the abuse on them, but they're made at about 2 inches thick on the tabletops. So they're going to really endure that abuse well and pick up that look of this very used surface.
And you're also going to finish it, you were telling me, specifically so that it can take the dings and dents and make that part of the design features of the tables.
Absolutely. We're using some commercial-grade finishes through an company called HPI Finishing Supply, really wonderful local business, along with Gilder's Tip. Jim Slattery's a fantastic furniture refinisher if any of you are looking for them. He's down there in Hampton and Manchester. So we're really using a group of craftsmen and local businesses to create this project.
Where, Martin Goebel of GoebelFurniture.com, where, pray tell, would you get all this knotty pine to build all the furniture for the new Urban Chestnut Brewery?
Well, all of our woods, including the wood for Urban Chestnut Brewery, are harvested locally from trees that come down generally in tornadoes and storm damage. A lot of it came out of Ferguson, Florissant, St. Charles, where you saw the tornadoes run through last spring. And a lot of this wood would end up in landfills or in firewood piles. But we're harvesting absolutely premium quality hardwoods. It's not the type of reclaimed wood that you think of where people are using pallets or they're using old barn wood. This is pristine timber that we are procuring the logs, having them milled to our specifications and then dried to our specifications specifically so you get a very unique experience through the end furniture that is 100% local.
So Urban Chestnut is opening up when?
They are opening up for their 3-year anniversary. The grand opening is on the 26th of January, so a week from Sunday.
A week from Sunday. And when are you delivering all your tables?
We are delivering on the 22nd, and they have a ribbon-cutting ceremony with a lot of press and various others on the 23rd.
Okay. And so when we go to Urban Chestnut and we sit down at a Goebel Furniture table there in Urban Chestnut, you're going to tell me that I'm going to be having a beer on a tree that was once in Florissant and was torn down by those tornadoes.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic. You also told me that you don't cut down any trees. All of the wood you use for all of your furniture is from naturally fallen trees.
Most of it is from naturally fallen trees. There is some construction removal that comes down as a result of development and things like that.
Right.
But we are sitting in the largest, or one of the largest, sort of hardwood forests in the world. And to go and cut down trees on someone's farm, or to buy commercially where they are going to do exactly that, it's just not part of the philosophy I want our business to be a part of.
Right, yeah.
You know, there's so much of this timber out there, and it's going to end up in landfills and wasted. And there's this life that this tree has where people love spending time around it, swinging in it, things like that. So with a lot of our private clients, we will actually create furniture directly from the trees that grow in their yard and that need to come down. So the tree that your grandfather planted can now be your dining table,
right,
and your grandchildren can have that in their home for their grandchildren.
It's
so
awesome.
It's a generational piece of furniture.
Okay, now before we let you go, Martin Goebel, GoebelFurniture.com, doing all the furniture for the new Urban Chestnut. For more information, just go to GoebelFurniture.com, right?
GoebelFurniture.com, info@GoebelFurniture.com. Email us. We've got a really great Facebook page which updates more regularly. You'll see the inside of our shop. You'll see what we're working on probably 3-4 times a day with updates.
Right.
And we love having visitors down at 2936 Locust.
Before we let you go, you can go there and then go to lunch at the Fountain on Locust, right?
That's
you're right
correct.
by there.
Yeah.
All right. Before I let you go, let me geek out a little bit.
Absolutely.
In your shop, you have a dedicated mortise machine.
I do indeed.
Tell us about this dedicated mortise machine you have in your shop.
Well, for all of those who are not sure what a mortising machine is or what you would use it for, it cuts a portion of a wood joint, and it looks like a drill press, but it actually cuts a square hole. So by putting a number of these square holes on end, you're able to make a slot in which you can put another member of wood into, and it's a really traditional wood joint. We actually purchased this mortiser out of somebody's garage in South City, probably 5-6 years ago, for about $200, and it's from 1907. It's made by the Hall and Brown Company down on North Broadway around the turn of the century, and it had to be craned into our current shop as a result of it being a solid piece of cast iron. And where most of these machines these days are residential versions, and they're just done with a benchtop mounting. This has a foot pedal. It's just really
to bring the mortise down. You step on a pedal,
yes,
and your weight brings the chisel down into the piece of wood.
That is correct.
Yeah. $200.
$200. Best $200 I ever spent.
That machine is, and you had to sort of retrofit it, didn't you, a little bit? Isn't there a leather strap on there or something?
Well, there's still the old belt drive strap where there used to be a continuous shaft on the ceiling of whatever wagon wheel factory or whatever early automotive factory that it was being used in. And it was a continuous shaft where the machine never turned off all day. And these days, we definitely retrofit it for a electric motor so it can be flipped on and off.
That is fantastic. All right. GoebelFurniture.com. Instead of going to Atlanta and thinking you're all cool for finding furniture in Atlanta or Denver or Chicago, why not go to GoebelFurniture.com and just buy it directly from you?
I would 100% agree. We are able to create anything that you can think of, that you find on Pinterest, that you come up with, or you can buy directly out of our production line.
That's a great point. You can they can commission you to build whatever they want, or you have a number of pieces that are sort of there and ready to go, more or less.
That's correct. We've got a production line, like I said, of about 17 pieces: beds, tables, chairs, all of the residential basics that you can think of, but heirloom quality. And then we can also create custom pieces for you. The production line are created in a batch environment so that they're much cheaper.
Right.
But we can create that one-of-a-kind piece that you'll pass through your family.
It's a great story. You're a woodworker. You're a St. Louisan. Urban Chestnut's a great story. They found you. You've employed other people. The beautiful furniture going into a new repurposed building. taking the old wood that was fallen from a tornado and repurposing it for barroom furniture. It's just a great story all the way around. Martin Goebel, thank you for coming in. I know it's a busy time for you, but thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much.
GoebelFurniture.com, Goebel, GoebelFurniture.com. Like him on Facebook. We'll send out the video so you can see. And for those watching on TV, we were showing you the video of his office, of the studio, of some of the work that's going on, and, of course, that world-famous dedicated mortise machine that cost you $200 that is priceless. That machine is priceless. Martin, thanks for coming in. Good luck.
Thank you. Have a good day.
9:25 here, Big 550 KTRS.